Hey, Giant fans, welcome to another edition of the Giant Insider Podcast. My name is Jerry Foley. I'm the senior editor of the Giant Insider newspaper. And with me, as always, is Chris Bisignano, the beat writer of the Giant Insider. Well, another week, another loss, 1-7. We're going from irrelevant to oblivion. And it's the same old story every week with the offense. A 37-year-old quarterback looks 37 behind a line that is worse than I thought it was going to be. And now the question is, when they, right? When will they play him? And first, I guess, will they? But ultimately, when will they play him? And, of course, talking about Kyle Lauletta, I think it's going to be the Buccaneer game. Chris says it could be the 49er game. But, look, we're going to go talk about the game yesterday, and then we're going to get to a ton of Twitter questions, which were hilarious, and some are well thought out, but some are just too funny. But, personally speaking, Chris, as a giant Yankee Ranger fan, this is pretty much the lowest point of my sports life. You, however, have there's a bright side in your life, and go ahead, buddy. It's the floor's yours to gloat a little bit. Go ahead.
Yes, it was a great night in my sports world as the Red Sox won yet another World Championship, my friend.
Yeah, they're up to 9 now, like 4 in the last 15 years.
Yeah. From somebody who thought would never see one, and now all of a sudden I'm seeing a lot of them. So it was a great night last night.
Yeah, I mean, so let's put it in perspective.
Yeah,
In football, the Eagles won. In baseball, the Red Sox won. I mean, hockey, are the Flyers going to win it now? I'm trying to think of the worst case scenario for me as a sports fan, because I mean I'm a loser right now, right? Like the Yankees are good, but from a championship perspective and just a rooting perspective, this is as low as it gets. But congratulations, Chris. They were the best team all year pretty much, and they got it done. And now I'm going to go throw up. But in all seriousness,
thank you very much. By the way, thank you very much.
In all seriousness. The game yesterday, the defense, they kept him in it, man. I mean, I thought they played their asses off. I thought they played a great game. The offense just can't score. They get to the red zone, and they can't do anything. And I don't know, man. I say it every week, but this was really, really the week where I think the fans turned on Eli, man. I just think that stadium just was like, just put in Lauletta already, because even when he had time, and I'll let you get into it because you were there and you saw it firsthand. I thought even when he had time, can't make the throw down the field, made some dumb decisions. And I understand blaming the line because they stink. But there were times where Manning could do something and he didn't get it done.
Yeah, and there was times he took a few sacks that were absolute cover sacks where he just basically collapsed in the pocket. I mean, I saw him drop his shoulders and basically, didn't even think about extending the play or looking downfield or even getting rid of the ball. He had a rough day. Eli had a couple of nice throws. The plus zone interception was absolutely ridiculous. Didn't read the safety jumping the route. Interception there. Another interception by Swearinger. I don't know where he was throwing the ball. He seemed like he threw an air ball.
Oh, that was just that was. I thought it looked like he thought the half was ending or the third, whatever. He just threw a Hail Mary, a prayer that had no shot. I mean, Swearinger waited for that like he was Willie Mays and just sat under it. That was the easiest interception I've ever seen a safety have.
Yeah, and then when he does do a good thing, Eli, on fourth down, he finds Evan Ingram, and ball goes right through Evan's hands. As his drop issues continue.
And with Ingram, I'm tired of hearing about potential and how many weapons this offense has. We say, with Beckham and Shepard and Ingram, they're loaded, and Barkley. Well, they're not loaded. I mean, they have Odell, they have Barkley, and they have Shepard, and Ingram, he's just not consistent enough to throw in that category right now.
No, and we've discussed this before, where Ingram's never going to be considered a good tight end until he catches the ball. I mean, he just has too many drops, and you had two more yesterday. The one on fourth down obviously was crucial, and he had another one after that. And, he just listen. Drops has been an issue with him, and it continues to be an issue with him. And the Giants just can't consistently put a string of plays together. If they make a good play, the next play it's a penalty, right?
Yeah.
If they move the ball, it's a key drop. They moving the ball yesterday, key interception. They just can't. Defense plays well the whole game, Jerry, and boom, Peterson pops a 64-yarder to ice the game.
Yeah.
Defense plays well for 3.5 quarters, can't get a stop at the end of the game. This is a unit that just cannot put it all together.
Yeah,
that's why you won 7.
The one play that represented the whole game for me was you have Sterling Shepard streaking down the field, pretty much wide open. I mean, I think he's about 5 yards beyond the defender. Eli throws the ball. It's underthrown. Now, I know people jumped on Shepard. Ball was underthrown. And then I think it was Stroman who dove at him and ripped the ball out. He made a good play. Now, winning teams make that play no matter what. Winning teams catch that ball, even if the ball's a little underthrown and it's a 50-yard gain or a 40-yard gain or whatever. But losing teams, just that's an incomplete pass. It's just that kind of sums up where we are on offense. Manning finally had some time, threw the ball, again underthrown, should have been caught. Guy made a good play, stripped, incomplete pass. Good teams make that. We don't. We are not a good team. And it just, like you said, buddy, there's no one that's stepping up to kind of take the reins and do anything as far as changing the tide of the game. The Ingram drop was so bad because it was right after a very good play on defense where I thought Collins had his best game of the year, I thought. And he stripped Peterson of the ball. Vernon picks it up, brings it back about 40 yards or so, and then the drop to Ingram happened.
Yeah, listen, the worst thing about that play is that OV couldn't score, right?
It looked like he hadn't run in a year. Like he took off, and you're like, oh, here we go. And then it just slowed down, and he must have just a quick burst, and that's it. I was shocked that he was caught.
Well, you know what? In fairness to OV, that ankle isn't 100% yet either, Jerry.
Yeah, I know.
And he's not. Listen, OV's not a burn him either. I don't know. Maybe he started running out of gas at 20 yards. I have to ask him when I see him tomorrow. But as soon as OV got tackled, pushed out of bounds, I said to myself, well, too bad because we're not going to score now. And what happened? We didn't score, right?
Yeah.
And Eli interception in the plus area there was inexcusable. Eli gives the answer of, I didn't read it. I have to do a better job reading the coverage there. I didn't see the safety, the whole deal. 15-year veteran, in my opinion. Absolutely and completely inexcusable.
Well, I think after the Vernon play, Bud, was the drop from Ingram. That was the end of that drive.
Yeah, no, I'm just going back early in the game.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I'm just going back early in the game about not executing, not scoring points.
Yep.
In the red zone, and you can't have a 15-year veteran not able to read a coverage and get picked off. And to the scary part, Jerry, DJ Swearinger, who's having a phenomenal year, by the way, talked about it after the game, said he saw the formation, knew what Odell was going to do, and jumped the route. So to me, that's a little alarming because now, to me, that's a head coach who's being very predictable with his schemes. Okay? So Sherman has to take some of the blame here because when defensive players are saying this, he's not the only one. Other teams have said it too.
Yeah.
That's bad. Okay? That's on the coach too. You have to come up with better schemes. Okay? If you keep running the same thing in the red zone, these guys get paid too. They study tape too. And to me, that was alarming. Sherbert talked about it today. He's got to get some, we got to work on our schemes in the bye week. Coach, I'm sorry, but it's 8 games in. Too late for that.
Yeah, one of the things Shermer did yesterday too, again, was he went into halftime with 2 timeouts. I don't get it. I mean, I know the offense wasn't doing well, but I mean, put up a fight for God's sake. Like Shermer's decision making has left a lot to be desired, and I know Odell's not Plaxico Burress at the, inside the red zone or the goal line, but why have we not thrown one fade to him at all? I mean, it's just I don't understand why they don't go to their best players And by the way, yesterday I tweeted, did Eli Manning have Fowler on his fantasy team? Like, why did he continue to throw to Fowler? Nothing against Fowler, but you have Beckham, you have Shepard. I just, I don't know, man. Yesterday was a frustrating game.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating year. And, they're clueless in the red zone. Our receivers they're not big guys. So you know what? Like you said, throw it up there a few times. First of all, Eli can't throw a fade pass if his life depended on it.
He never could.
Okay, he's the most horrific fade pass I've ever seen in my life. You saw he tried to throw one yesterday. I think it was the Fowler. I think it was the Fowler, and he gave the receiver no chance whatsoever to come down with it. Did his usual pat his chest like that's on me. They're not using a tight end inside the 20. I mean, the biggest guys, on the receiving end is the tight ends, Allison and Ingram, right? The receivers.
And Allison can catch.
Yeah, I mean, just listen. It's a whole team effort in this, bud. Where it's Shermer, it's the schemes, it's lack of execution, bad passing. No running game inside the 20 at all. And this is why we're 1-7. You can't blame the defense the last 2 weeks. I understand they didn't come up with a big stop in Atlanta, a big play yesterday. But when you give up 23 points on the road and then 20 points yesterday, you should be winning these games. And they're not.
Yeah, I know what else there is to be said, man. It was a frustrating game. The same mistakes they've seemed to make all year. Real quick, one more subject, and then we'll get to the questions because we got a ton of them. And I need some levity. I need some humor because after yesterday, man, it's like, wow, we're gonna be eliminated before Halloween again. I just want meaningful football in December, let alone Thanksgiving, and we're gonna be eliminated by Halloween mathematically, probably. The screen game. I mean, do we just? I tweeted that we just toss the ball to Barkley and tell the kid good luck because there's nothing out there. It's not a screen game. It's just Eli looking. The screen game for the ones that do it right, the teams that do it right, the Chiefs, the Eagles, they let the rush come at them. Everyone flies at the quarterback, and then the quarterback just drops it right over top and to the running back, who then takes off 10, 20, 30 yards. When we throw a screen pass, we drop back, we look directly at Barkley for the first 3 seconds straight, and then throw it to him. Everybody's there already. There's no blocking out in front. I mean, it's a smaller aspect of the game, but it's really frustrating.
It's so comical, isn't it? Oh. Yesterday, I think on the second screen of Barkley yesterday, and of course there was 4 defenders in his face, and I don't think one offensive lineman kicked out. I actually looked at it was so comical. I looked at Dave Klein, who's been covering the Giants a long time, and I said to Dave, Dave, is it me? Am I spitballing here, or are you supposed to get 2 offensive linemen out on the screen? And he just laughed. He goes, "No, we have a new screen pass called running back for his 5 defenders." I mean, it's just comical to look at. Just the lack of execution is just unbelievable, Jerry.
And I know that this roster lacks talent, but that's a coaching problem right there.
Absolutely.
Like anybody says, man.
And Jerry.
And now the vultures are out. I mean, they're like, can we fire Sherman at the end of the year? It's not going to happen. But now the public is just disgusted with him.
Yeah, it is. I see that. I see that there is a faction of people coming in saying they want to show. That's not happening. That's just a lot of frustration. I understand that, but Sherman's not going anywhere. Now, if me and you are having the same conversation this time next year,
it's over.
Then yes, that could be a different story. But he, rightfully so, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But the offensive line not getting better at all. Matter of fact, they're regressing. I think Washington only had 14 sacks coming into this game.
They did, and then they had 7 yesterday.
And they tack on 7, and they had 10 quarterback hits on Eli.
Yeah.
So to me, I know it's a lack of talent, but to me, it's a lack of coaching also because guys are not improving at all. You know what I mean? They're not improving at all. So everybody's to blame for this one, my friend.
Yep. All right, man, let's get to these. We're 15 minutes in, and these questions are going to take anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes because there's a lot of them. They're hilarious, and some of them are pretty good. The first one from Harper and Goldschmidt at Sod Quello. I can't pronounce it. 3 questions. 1, don't congratulate Chris over the tragedy last night. Sorry, but I already did. Will Eli retire or will they cut him? And then what are the chances of Ovi being traded in the offseason? I'll try this one first.
Who's the last one, Jerry?
The
Who's
last
the
one,
trade?
what are the chances of Olivier Vernon being traded in the offseason?
Okay. I thought you said Odell. Okay, go ahead.
So I'll try this first. Will Eli retire? Will they cut him? I think they'll cut him. I don't know if he'll retire after that, but I think the Giants are going to move on, and I don't think they're going to trade him. I don't think anybody wants him. He's not going to waive his no-trade clause. At the end of the year, this will be it for Manning. What he does after that is I have no idea if he'll retire or not. I think he should retire. I think he shouldn't tarnish his legacy more than he already has. And what are the chances of OV being traded in the offseason? I think if OV's not traded by tomorrow, I don't think he's going to be traded in the offseason. I think he'll be here next year.
Jerry, I don't know how you feel in this. I don't want OV going anywhere.
Yeah, I like him.
I know a lot of people are very down on OV because of the injuries, but you look what he does. Okay, and he's not 100% yet either. All right, but trust me, he's not 100%.
He's the only one getting a pass rush.
I mean, Jerry, you look what this guy, when he's healthy, what he does. The guy is a solid player. Now, you could say he's overpaid. I know that. Okay, we know Reese overpaid for him. We understand that. But talking strictly football-wise, the guy makes plays. He had a couple pressures yesterday, come up with the fumble recovery. The guy, he makes plays. He's a solid edge guy, and you put him and Lorenzo Carter next year. I like it. I like the combination. I don't want OV going anywhere, to be honest with you. So I don't think he's going anywhere.
I agree. Jim Vassell at Jim Vassell TV, actually a media guy. He's a cousin of a good friend of mine.
Okay.
Jim actually and I were at the last Super Bowl parade together. He's a media guy in Philly, so Jim, my heart goes out to you, pal. Would the Giants still draft Herbert if Derek Carr was made available to them? My instinct is yes, they would still. I think they would draft a quarterback, whether it's Herbert or this Daniel Jones from Duke that they seem to be high on. I don't think Derek Carr will be the quarterback of the Giants next year.
Oh, but the question was if they take Derek Carr, right?
Would they still draft Herbert if
the Giants
if Derek Carr becomes available to would the Giants do a trade for Carr or if Carr's how about this? If Carr's released and the Giants have a chance to pick him up, would they pick up Carr or would they still draft a young quarterback like Herbert next year? I think they go quarterback in the draft.
Yes, I agree. I don't think Derek Carr. I don't know, where this stuff is coming from, but no, I think the Giants are going to go quarterback next year. Might not be Herbert. Listen, there's 3 other kids that are coming on.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is one of them, the kid from Duke.
Yeah, I couldn't. If he was in front of me right now, I can't give it a assessment.
Well, he's got nothing. But I heard the name. I heard the word Duke, and I shuddered because of Dave Brown. But he's got nothing to work with there, and he's lighting it up.
Yeah, yes, I've been reading that too, Jerry. Yeah. But there's a couple other kids too that are playing pretty good too. So, but I mean, I would bet my house the Giants are going quarterback.
Yep.
Next year.
Our biggest fan, Barb at Floridagram 5. Adam Schefter floated the idea of the Giants trading a conditional late-round draft pick to the Bucs for Jameis Winston. Yeah, that's not going to happen. There's no way. I mean, adding Jameis Winston to this team, no, that's a funny idea from Adam Schefter, but there's no way in hell that will happen.
No, I can't pitch Jameis I can't picture Jameis and Odell on the same squad. Plus, Jameis he might lose his job again now in Tampa Bay. He was benched yesterday, and Fitzpatrick might be back at the helm over there in Tampa. So no, I don't see that happen. I don't know where Adam Schefter got that from, but he's good at him. So I can't. I guess it's bouncing around somewhere, but no, I don't see that happening at all.
Here's one. Here's a good one from Matthew Blackberry at Mr. Chris. I'm sure a lot of questions are coming your way, but my question is, should Shermer let Mike Shula call plays if he isn't doing so already? Can't help but think that with Lauletta playing, it will open up the offense just with the ability to have RPOs. I think Shermer calls the plays, right? I don't know if he's going to hand over the reins to Shula, would he?
No, he hasn't given any signal of handling the plays over. That's a scenario maybe for next year. I mean, Andy Reid has actually done it in the past where he felt he had to, step back a little bit and coach everybody up. But no, I don't. I don't see that coming down the pike at all.
Here's one. It's a setup question for us. Anthony Delmonico at It's Tony D. I'd love to see you see you guys talk on the podcast about what gives you the reason to think Shermer is the right guy going forward. This is funny. Forget what he's done in Cleveland. He did nothing in Cleveland, or with Keenum in 2017. What's he shown in these 8 games, Anthony? He's not done too much. I don't know if he's the right guy going forward. The players. Here's one thing I'll say: this team, and it's very cliche, but this team quit on McAdoo, and they have not quit on Pat Shermer. They're in every game, which is the frustrating part. Which is why it's so hard to watch them lose every week, because it's not like they're getting blown away. I mean, they're really blown away the Eagle game, and they never beat the Eagles. But yeah, I think they're in every game. I think they play hard for them. So if there's one thing, that's what I'm semi-positive about.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad that question was sent in because I talked to a few guys after the game yesterday. I asked that, how's this locker room holding up? How do you feel about the coach? And I shouldn't say every, but a few of the responses were, no, this is still a tight locker room, and we're playing hard for this guy. No negative feedback, anything like that. I think they really respect Coach Shermer.
Yeah.
They like playing for him, and they're still playing. Listen, they're not executing. They're 1-7. I understand that. But I haven't, like last year, you just sensed guys were not tanking. Guys were not playing as hard as they should have been, right?
Yep.
This year, they're playing hard. They're just not good enough, and they're not executing. But no, you know what? They're still playing. Sherman's got that back, Jerry. He refuses. Even now, times are tough, and he won't throw anybody under the bus, and it plays like that. So
here's an interesting one. Hawk at Hawk Rule. And by the way, those of you whose questions we're reading, go to iTunes, please, if you're using iTunes, and give us a rating and subscribe. We're free, but just give us a rating, please. I mean, we're reading your questions, and we'll continue to do so once a week because these things are hilarious, and some of them, like I said, some of them really good. They're one's more good, yeah. This one's more on the I don't know how to answer this one side. Hawk at Hawk Rules. This year, the Jets lowered season ticket prices by 11%. Considering the product they are currently providing, should ownership do something similar? I'd prefer a winner, of course, but that's not likely. And $3,000 a year for 2 seats for 2 home wins in 2 seasons gets old. Hawk, I understand where you're coming from, and I believe that number is 1-800-JOHN-MARA. Should they do it? Probably. I was just saying that PSLs, if you're going to buy PSLs, now's the time to get them on the secondary market. I mean, on eBay, they're putting their prices out there, then they're saying, or best offer. I mean, I've been looking myself just to see, just to kind of see if we can get an upgrade as far as upper level to lower level and more tickets. But yeah, man, I think they should lower them. I think they'll at least stay the same. I don't think they'll be increased. But yeah, I would suggest writing ownership on that one, pal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, what Mara usually does after seasons like this, he just doesn't doesn't give an increase. But he's not going to lower them now.
Yep. From Dubs Drivel at Dubs Drivel. Coach says ad nauseum that the O-line needs to play better. At this point, are there any options to shore up the O-line? No, I don't think there's anyone out there to help right now. We are in this one for 8 more games and watching this line struggle, I think.
Yeah, actually, the upgrade of the offensive line, one is playing in Tennessee because Reese wouldn't pull the trigger and move up to get him in Conklin, and one is playing in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because Jerry Reese decided not to draft Ryan Ramczyk.
Yep.
And he went with a tight end that wasn't a priority at the time for the Giants.
Yeah, and I had him taking.
So there's your upgrade, my friend.
I had him taking Andrews Pete in the Insider a couple of years back instead of Flowers. That was the guy I said to take, and he's not a Pro Bowler, but he's a pretty solid guard, right?
Well, guess what, Jerry? Andrews Pete is probably going to be a Pro Bowler this year, my friend.
Yeah, right. I mean, some of these are easy. When you see a Stanford tackle, it's like that just screams easy pick. I don't know, man.
Just quickly on that, Jerry, for 1 second. Yeah. I mean, I'm watching, in between the Red Sox winning another World Championship.
Right. It gets old.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's getting old now. I'm watching the Saints and the Vikes last night, and I'm specifically watching Ryan Ramczyk, and he's just dominating guys out there. So I said, okay, I've seen like 4 Saints games this year. Every game he's played really well. Went to PFF, 3rd-ranked tackle. Crownsworth saying last night the guy's going to be an all-pro this year. Not a Pro Bowler, all-pro. And I said to myself, isn't this guy supposed to be wearing a blue uniform? Why is he not wearing a blue uniform?
Yeah, and we're not Monday morning quarterbacking here.
We call for this.
But when they took Evan Ingram was 3rd on the list of tight ends that year. It was Njoku and Howard. Howard was number 1 by a mile, and then it was Njoku and Ingram. And I understand why they went tight end because we had somebody brought it up before on Twitter. It was a good point. We had Ty and Larry Donnell and just couldn't get a tight end. Then we drafted Ingram, who's more of a wide receiver than anything else, and now he's a wide receiver who's not catching the ball. So,
Jerry, what was a priority in the 2017 draft?
Sure. Line.
What was it?
Yep.
You answered me. What was it?
Yeah,
offensive line, right?
Yep.
Not a tight. I don't care if Mookie Betts was the tight end on the Giants that year.
Okay.
Somebody who's never played the position.
Yeah, enough with the Red Sox.
Oh, sorry. I mean, I don't care if it was me or you playing tight end for the Giants in 2017. The priority was to build an offensive line.
Yeah.
Not a tight end with the number 1 pick.
Yep.
Okay? Jerry Reese is the sole reason this offensive line is a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Ignored it for so long, and then when he did make the picks, they were terrible.
Ruined.
Or less than average, or below average.
Right. Is there anybody left on this roster from Jerry Reese's draft picks in the offensive line?
Oh, my God. It's amazing.
Anybody?
Yeah.
No. He ruined Eli Manning's prime years. Ruined them. Because he didn't want to address the offensive line. Or move up and take a Jay Conklin. Or draft a Ryan Ramczyk. Okay? The Saints are probably going to go to the Super Bowl this year. Or they're going to be playing the Rams in the NFC Championship game.
And the Rams, he didn't even get Whitworth. He had a chance at Whitworth, and he said, "I'm going to go with Eric Flowers." What would you rather have, a younger tackle or an older one?
Why? And why did he do that? Because he was stubborn and he wanted to prove, hey, he's my number 1 pick. Watch this, folks. He's going to turn out to be a real good tackle because I drafted him number 1.
Turned out all right.
How did that turn out, Jerry?
Hey,
answer me that.
We have an international question.
Sorry about that.
No, buddy, I love it. We are worldwide. Flo at 1860 Scouser. I think that's how you say it. Hello from Germany. Hello. Next game, Eli or Kyle? How to fix O-line, more play action, and why is our play calling? All right, you know what? Next game, Eli or Kyle? I don't think. I think I'll answer it real quick. Eli's going to play. I think Eli's going to play against the 49ers. I think the first game, Lauletta will play. Will be the Buccaneers because of how bad the defense is, and it's a home game. I could be wrong. I mean, maybe they'll put Lauletta out there on Monday night against the 49ers for people to watch. Both teams have 1 win right now. I can't believe that's a Monday night game. But I think he's going to play against the Buccaneers. How to fix the O-line, we're kind of getting into that. More play action? Sure, I'd love play action, Flo. But when you don't hand the ball off or only hand it off 13 times, you can't perform play action because you're not handing the ball off enough. And yeah, that's that. I got nothing else for Flo.
Well, when you can't run the ball, play action doesn't fool linebackers either, Jerry.
Right. But the game was close, and we handed it off 13 times. I thought that was a little odd.
Well, we've been saying that all year, right?
Yep.
Close games. Why isn't Saquon getting more touches? Well, because they can't run the ball. Okay. But this is what I've been saying all year is this. Saquon is a home run hitter. He might have 13 carries for 25 yards. Guess what? The 14 carry might go for 70. Okay, Coach? When you have a home run hitter, okay, give him the ball.
Yeah, I mean, look,
not nine checkdowns.
Yep, and even Peterson was held somewhat in check yesterday.
They did a great job at AP.
He had 100, and they broke one for 64. He ended up with 159. So he had a lot of carries. And this is why you keep handing the ball off. And Barkley has shown he can run between the tackles. This notion of he bounces everything outside, just not true. The kid runs between the tackles and he runs hard.
And how about this, JF? How about this? Could we run the ball once when it's 3rd and 6 when they don't think you're going to run it? Did you see Sean McVay last night?
Yeah.
Key drive, 3rd and 7. He handed off to Gurley. The Packers didn't know what hit him.
Yep.
Okay? They didn't know what even happened because nobody runs the ball in 36, 35 anymore. How about that, Coach? Could we fool them? Could we do that once in a while? with an explosive back. What do you think? Huh?
Yeah. I mean, and you're comparing him to McVay, who's probably the best play caller in the league, right?
Oh no, I'm not comparing. I'm
Oh
just
no,
saying.
I'm
Did you
saying
see
no.
what
It's a good
McVay did
point.
yesterday?
It's a
Yeah,
valid point. I mean, you
yeah.
have a kid who,
Oh, there's no comparison
I
right
mean,
now
is
at all.
ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
A few more questions here. Some of them are repetitive. I just want to read them anyway because these guys were nice enough to send in the questions. Mark Fish at HCSIF. Think Eli will retire at the end of this year. If not, is he? Blah, 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 blah. Do you think he can be competitive if the offensive line was good enough?
Who, Eli?
Yeah. I mean, competitive, yes, but I also think that from what I've seen from Manning this year, he needed the absolute perfect situation, and I don't know if that exists anymore in the NFL. So, to answer your question, Mark, I don't think he will retire. I think he should, but I think he's a little stubborn. He's going to try to maybe catch on somewhere, and I think he could be adequate quarterback maybe if the line is very good, but he's a far cry from what he once was. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and there's no question Eli's getting released.
Yeah. No,
As a
not at
matter
all. Yeah.
as a matter of fact, Jerry, I was with you. I didn't think Lauletta was going to play until maybe the Tampa Bay game, but looking at Sherman today, looking at his answers, he didn't exactly give a real endorsement for Eli playing against San Francisco either.
Yeah.
So I think he's thinking about it. It's not going to help much because the offensive line is so bad. But there's no question Eli will not be a Giant next year. Now, whether or not he wants to hook up with others, I'm sure he does. He feels he can still play, and God bless him if that's what he feels, But he's going to have to go to a right system.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. He very well may play against the 49ers. I think the smart move, since he's been so buried on the depth chart, is to play him against the Bucs. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. If he plays against the Niners, more power to him. It'll give people a reason to watch. TJ Toto at TJ Toto. Eli, week 17 in a send-off game, good idea, bad idea? I'm not all for that. If Lauletta's playing well, giving Eli a swan song, maybe a few snaps, but I wouldn't play him the whole game.
Yeah, it's Dallas too. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I can't even think down that way.
I know.
I guess Eli does maybe get the start. I mean, if he's not playing the last 3-4 games, yeah, I guess they give him the respect. He goes out there, plays against Dallas, knowing it's his last game, and the fans will give him a nice hand that he a nice send off that he well deserves. So I guess so. I can't even think that far.
Yeah,
I'm trying to win a game here. It's unbelievable.
You sound like Jim Moore. I'm just trying to win a game.
Oh my God. It's so funny. You remember Brandon London?
Yeah.
The Giant receiver, and he was up in the booth next to me. We were talking yesterday during the game, and he was like just as depressed as all of us up there. He's just like, man, and he kept saying it. That's what made me think of it, Joe. He kept saying it over and over. Brandon kept going, man, we just got to win a game.
Right.
We just got to win a game. He kept saying it over and over. It was like, oh my God, what a depressing feeling.
This is a good one. There's a really good question. Sleepy Manny at Manny P204. Would you prefer, assuming there are no franchise quarterback prospects in the 2019 draft, and we get a top 3 pick, we trade back, acquire more picks, or go for the best available player like Nick Bosa? It's not a bad question because the best scenario for the Giants is Lauletta throws for between 250 and 300 the next 7 games, and they're like, oh, we did find our quarterback. I don't think it would happen, but say it did, right? Say they don't like Herbert, they don't like Jones, and they want to pick, like you said the other night, they have a bridge quarterback, like a Teddy Bridgewater, someone like that for a year. Would it make sense to take Nick Bosa? Yeah, we have no pass rushers. Would it make sense to trade back and acquire more picks? Yes, our roster is depleted. It's a great question. It's not like out of the realm of possibility that the Giants do that. I still think if I had to bet all my money, it was going to be on a quarterback going first round, but if they really didn't like them again, like they say they didn't this year, then I think either scenario is the right move. Bosa or trade back and acquire picks.
Listen, Jerry, a few things. I'm not quite sold that they didn't like anybody this year. I just think they were all in on Eli. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sold on that.
I'll tell you what. I think they liked Mayfield. I agree.
I
think if Darnold went 1, I think the Giants had a decision to make.
I think they like Josh Rosen too, Jerry.
Yeah.
I actually asked Gettleman about Rosen,
Yeah.
and I like the answer he gave me. I had the feeling they liked Rosen too,
Yeah.
but
What did he say?
I asked him a question about Rosen's commitment to football and what he thought of him as a individual.
Right.
And I could see, and Gettleman's a very straightforward guy. He's not gonna. He's not a guy.
You cut out there. You said you could see. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. Gettleman. I could see that Gettleman really liked him.
Right.
Because he's a straightforward guy, Gettleman. He looks you in the eye and gives you an answer.
Yeah.
And I could tell by the answer he gave me that they liked Rosen.
Yeah, and real quick for everyone listening, Chris is alluding to the fact that Rosen may not have been able to handle the New York media very well. He was very frustrated that he got picked after the other quarterbacks, and on draft day even was saying, "I'm tired of all these questions." So that's where Chris was. That's where you were going.
Yeah, and listen, there was things bouncing around about that his commitment to football to Rosen, that he really didn't have a passion for it.
Yep.
And I did bring that up to Gettleman.
Yeah.
And I could. The feeling I got from Gettleman was that they liked Rosen. Like, I'm not really sold they didn't like any quarterbacks. They were just all in on Eli. And there's no – listen, guess what? They're going to like a quarterback next year, Jerry. You understand what I'm saying? If it's three guys they're like not 100% crazy on, they're going to go with the guy that 95% crazy on. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A quarterback's getting drafted
in
the next draft. Even if they happen to sign a Bridgewater in the offseason, somebody like that, or you make a deal, Foles, which I don't see it happen, or something like that.
Oh God, I can't look at Foles. I don't care. It's.
I'm just giving an example.
Yeah, it would be like it would be like. Oh, I can't even think of the scenario. It'd be like marrying the woman who used to sleep with your brother or something.
Oh my God!
Well, I can't.
You are insane.
I just couldn't like Foles, man, and I don't have any brothers, so
Jerry,
I never had to worry about that. But my God, if Foles was on the Giants, I think I'd boo him every week.
Yeah, until he wins a game for you. Then
for what he did to us. Anyway,
listen, so I understand about moving back. That's if we had our quarterback on the roster. I don't believe we do have a quarterback on the roster. Kyle Lauletta will basically have to look like, he would have to look phenomenal when he finally gets in, to even have that scenario. And I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a good segue to the last question from Vince Buccellato at VBook810. When Shermer comes to his senses and plays Lauletta, what are the odds he can do anything to change their plans for next year? 0 or when hell freezes over? Go ahead, buddy. You run with that one.
There's zero chance of them changing, draft. Oh, well, I'm sorry, Joe. What was the question? The chance of them what? Not drafting a quarterback?
Yeah, like I guess if Lauletta plays really well was what I was saying before. If Lauletta plays really well, like what are the chances that
he would?
Yeah. What are the chances that they don't go quarterback next year?
Listen, he would have to play like we just talked about. He would have to play. I mean, unbelievable. Where you look at him and say, "Okay, this kid is the future." I don't see that happening at all. But I guess time will tell with Kyle. But behind this offensive line, I'm sorry, just don't see it happening. And I don't think because he's a little more mobile, a lot more mobile than Eli, that's going to be the answer to the Giants' offensive woes. It's not, folks. All it's going to be is probably Lauletta getting killed because she's going to be running more, getting out of the pocket, and he's going to get lane-basted in a flat or something, while trying to run for a first down. Okay? A mobile quarterback is not the answer. Offensive lineman, that's the answer.
I agree with you, but I also want to see what a mobile quarterback can do, right? Like,
fair enough. Yeah,
like a guy yesterday when Manning took some of those sacks where, he just literally shuffled his feet, looked at the people, and looked at the guys rushing at him.
That's a whole other issue,
and just got crushed. Yeah. I'd like to see. I agree with you. It's the line, but I would like to see what a mobile quarterback can do.
Yeah, no question, Jerry. He could obviously extend some plays, run for some first downs, maybe do some things on bootlegs. But there is, there's a certain, Jerry, there's a certain part of the fan base that believes a mobile quarterback is the answer to the Giants' problems. It's not. All right. If you don't have people blocking up front for these guys, all a mobile quarterback all it's gonna happen is gonna be in traction in about 4 weeks. And if it happens to Aaron Rodgers every year, it happens to these guys.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that a mobile quarterback could extend some plays and maybe get a few more first downs and do some more bootlegs, but it's not the answer to the Giants' offensive problems. The guys up front is the answer. Okay, a mobile quarterback is not the answer. Don't think like when Lauletta gets in there, we're gonna go. We're gonna go and we're gonna go down to Washington and we're gonna go to Philly in a few weeks and boom, we're gonna win a 35-27 game. Not happening.
Yeah. One more. I'm asking it because a lot of people are asking it, and I don't know the situation with this young man, but the quarterback from Alabama seems to be the one that everyone says that's the special one. That's the kid you want. He can't come out next year, right?
No, he's a sophomore. He's got one more year in college.
Right. So no matter what, everybody's asking about him. I'm like, he's a sophomore. I don't think
No, he's not a redshirt. He's not a redshirt
right.
sophomore. He's a true sophomore.
Yeah. So they haven't changed the rules or anything. So yeah, a lot of people are asking about it. I didn't know what the situation was there.
Jerry, you know what it is? In all fairness to everybody, when they hear sophomore, usually in college, it's a redshirt sophomore.
Right.
Right. But no, he's a true sophomore too. He has another year left in Alabama.
All right, buddy. Excellent job once again. We'll still have a podcast Friday. Maybe we'll delve deeper into the Redskins or the future. Maybe there'll be a trade tomorrow. We'll talk about something. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, and then we'll do our picks for the weekend. And the good news,
Jerry, can I ask you 1 second?
Yeah, real quick. The good news is next weekend the Giants can't ruin my Sunday. But go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
No, I mean, the trade deadline's tomorrow. Where's this Landon Collins thing? I know some teams have supposedly reached out. I mean, I don't think Landon Collins is going anywhere. I mean, unless somebody comes up with a number one, right?
I think it would take a first right now. I think
Landon Collins is going to be a Giant. I see Landon, for the next 4 years as a Giant.
He's a young player too. He's only 24, I think, and he's a two-time Pro Bowler. And yesterday he played a great game, and he's had a weird season, but he's a very good player. And if you could just put him with like a ball hawk, not even Curtis Riley, God bless him, but he takes the worst angles on everything. He takes the worst angles on tackles, on balls in the air. Just put him next to a ball hawk, which is what we thought we were getting with Darian Thompson. I would love to see him with somebody who's more rangy, so that Collins could play closer to the line and just almost be that hybrid between linebacker and safety. But yeah, I agree, man. I don't think he's going anywhere unless the team says here's a 1.
And that's not happening. So I mean, listen, the only movement I expect tomorrow, is maybe Janoris Jenkins. Supposedly the Steelers are hot on Janoris.
I would imagine the Giants are asking for a third there.
Oh, I don't think there's any question. They need a third-round pick. And listen, Janoris is still a pretty solid corner. I mean, he's not having the best of years, but he's still a solid corner.
Yeah.
He's still a pretty good corner. So you got to, you have to get some. I don't think Gettleman will just get a 5 for him, but I could be wrong. We'll see. I guess we'll see by this time tomorrow night.
All right, buddy. Excellent work. All right, everybody, be sure to order your copy of the Giant Insider newspaper. Go to www.giantinsider.com. We printed last night. The newest edition's out. Or visit Magster.com for a digital subscription. That's magzter.com. Yearly subscriptions are $40 for paper copies, and the digital version is only $17 for a yearly subscription. 14 issues per year, as we're bi-weekly during the season and monthly in the off-season. The next podcast will be Friday night at 8 p.m., like I just said, November 2nd. Thanks for listening to the Giant Insider. I'm Jerry Foley. He's Chris Bizignano, a champion, Chris Bizignano in baseball. And remember, guys, Sundays are Giant days, but they cannot ruin it this Sunday. We are off this Sunday. Thank the Lord. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody.